Hi, my name is Kayla Keith, and this is Missing Midwest, a true crime podcast about those that have gone missing. Today's story is about a girl and her red car that went missing in Indiana. Neither have been seen since. Where is Catherine Fry? This is Missing Midwest, and someone knows something. Hello.
Hey.
We're back.
Pumped for another episode.
What number is
What is this, like 11?
11.
I don't even know.
Yeah. We're rolling right along with our episodes. I'm
I
so
used
excited.
to teach math, and now I can't count to 11.
I think the consistent thing that we've done with this episode is be really bad at math.
And the intros.
And the intros. Yeah, I got to come up with some sort of like...
You get so excited, and you're just like, hi. I'm like, hi.
Okay. Any announcements to go through this week?
We've got the merch store live.
It is live right now.
Boom. If you're watching on YouTube, you can just click that QR code right there on your screen.
Because we're so tech savvy.
Yeah. Shout out to Cody. He's got our YouTube channel up and running. It's actually So.Will.I.Studos is the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And it's going to have the footage for all of our podcasts. Missing Midwest, Week 15 podcast, and...
Coming soon.
Fence Peoples.
Yes.
Coming soon. Excited about that one.
That's exciting.
Yes. What about you? Do you have any exciting news?
The merch store's open. The YouTube's up and running. Oh, we're doing a podcasting class here at Cross America. If you're interested in podcasting, they have, well, first of all, they have everything that you need. They have all the equipment.
Unbelievable.
Here in Kokomo.
We've been so impressed.
But now we're hosting a class with some other podcasters, and it's literally going to be everything that you need to know about hosting a podcast.
Yeah.
So if you've ever thought about it.
We may have mentioned this before, but we had plans to like turn our barn into a podcasting studio. And then we came here and saw everything. And Cody was like, yeah, this stuff is like state of the art. So we were like, let's do it here.
Did you say state of the arc?
State of the art with a T?
Art. I thought you said arc.
All right. Anyways.
Like, that's not the phrase. Don't you hate? Have you ever like been saying a phrase your whole life, and then when you see it and you realize you were saying it wrong? Has that ever happened to you?
I know it's happened to you multiple times. I don't remember any of it happening to me, I guess, but...
You've never had that?
I'm sure I have.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's happened to you, and you feel super dumb because you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Is that what it's been this whole time? I know. I've done it many times, but it's fine. Anything else?
Murdered Midwest?
Murdered Midwest is a thing.
Let's go.
It's going to be episodes that you can subscribe to. Subscriber
Exclusive content.
Yep. So you can pay. It'll be $10 a month, and you're going to get an extra episode a week.
And we're working on the sticker game right now. You'll get some stickers, too.
Yeah, I love stickers. But yeah, so extra episodes a week if you want.
That starts in October.
Yep, the 1st of October. I haven't decided what day a week I'm going to release it on yet, but the first...
What day do you guys want it
to
release on?
The first day of... The first one of the days of the week in October it'll be.
Yeah, at least one of the days.
Saturdays for Missing Midwest. I don't know what day.
Mondays
really
for
sucks.
Murdered Midwest.
Murdered Monday.
Murder Your Monday with Murdered Midwest.
Murder Monday.
We're just having a marketing meeting right here with you guys.
Murdered Midwest Mondays. I love it. Monday it is.
Done.
So yeah, every Monday you'll be able to get a new episode if you want. And when you subscribe, that money will go to help us keep these going. Help us keep
Cody employed, you know.
Cody, we have to pay him for what he does. He is very tech savvy. I thought I was tech savvy until I met Cody.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we being young people, which I thought we were kind of young, but apparently 30s.
We're in our 30s now.
How old are you, Cody?
22. Cody doesn't have Facebook. That's how young Cody is. It's
ridiculous. He's like, we don't do Facebook anymore. I was like, oh, well then.
Do you drive cars? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, I'm not that tech savvy, but Cody is. And so we have to pay him to be tech savvy. So it'll help go to that. And hopefully it's going to help with our, we want to start helping cases and stuff. There's a lot of people that.
Yes, that's the long-term goal.
A lot of the cold cases, it ends up being back on the family to help. And so they end up, if they want to search or do something, it takes money.
Nothing is more frustrating to me when we're watching our documentaries and they're like, we had to stop because of funding.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's enough people out there that care that if they knew you needed funding.
We're going to be raising money.
So we're going to help people that care find cases to help with.
For sure. Listen up. If you're a small business owner like myself, you understand the value of time. There is always something to be done, and it's up to you to do it. Your business is your baby, and you rarely can trust others with it. But what if I told you that I had somebody that you can trust, someone that can save you time and help your business grow? I do. With Bo Digital, you have access to an entire team that will be there for you with marketing and advertising. It doesn't matter what the size of your budget or your business is. Bo can help you take the stress of marketing off your plate and free up your time to do more of the things you love to do with your business. Bo is a marketing company and a business partner, but my favorite thing about them is that they have become true friends. You can find out more about them and what they offer at bodigital.com. Take it from me and put a bow on it. I don't know. Anything else?
I'm ready for the episode.
No car
I know
wrecks in our
nothing
front yard
about this
week.
Yep.
Nothing going on there.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm ready. You ready?
Bring it on.
Let's do it.
I'm ready to take notes.
We're going to Indiana today, Greenwood, Indiana. And we're going to talk about Catherine Fry. Catherine also went by Kat or Kathy or Lola. She had a lot of different names. And she went missing on November 14th, 1993. That's the year I was born. She was 5 feet, 5 inches tall, 120 pounds, super tiny, super cute. She looked like a lot of fun. Like, she was just, like, every picture of her, she was smiling. She looked like the life of the party. Everyone had good things to say about her. And so she was just, one of those people. You just
like to be around.
You like to be around.
Sure.
Yeah. I think all of her names say that. Like.
Yeah.
She just has all these names because she's cool.
Everybody's like,
I feel like she was like
she's
the cool
cool
aunt.
enough to have a nickname.
Yeah.
Lola. Let's go.
Yeah. And so she went missing from Greenwood, Indiana. The population in 1993 was like right at 28,000. It's at 65,000 today.
Whoa. That's more than a double.
Yeah. They have 5 Dollar Generals.
Seems like they need
5-ish,
more.
depending on, it's kind of close to Indianapolis, so depending on where you put your perimeter, it's like 4 to 5-ish. So yeah, we can go there.
Yeah.
Hit up the Dollar General.
Isn't that where Jenny's boyfriend lives?
Yes.
Greenwood?
Yes, our future brother-in-law.
Whoa. Brett. That's a heavy shout out from.
First of all, we're going to find out if Brett actually listens to our podcast.
Yeah. Here we go, Brett.
Because if he doesn't say
It's on
anything
you.
about this,
It's on you.
he won't be my future brother-in-law.
Texas code word is help. Help with 2 blinks.
And if you don't mention this, then I'm going to know you don't listen, and then I'll make sure you're not my brother-in-law.
So the question's going to be, does Brett hear this first or does my sister hear this first? And tell Brett to listen.
Jenny, don't do that. We're going to see if he is committed to this
Back to
family or
Catherine.
not.
Back to Catherine. Our family drama is going to get intense.
They're getting married, I can tell. Anyway, so like I said, Catherine was born in Greenwood on February 20th, 1965. So when she went missing, she was 28. She'd be 58 today. She was born to Vernon and Delphia Coleman, and she was one of 6 children, 4 girls and 2 boys. The Colemans divorced a few years ago after like 38 years of marriage. Their kids, at least 3 of the kids, say it was because of losing Catherine, that their marriage just couldn't handle like losing a child, which I can't even imagine. And so Catherine was last seen in Greenwood. Her and her car, she had a red and black 1990 Mitsubishi.
Great job.
Why did I say that weird? Mitsubishi. Is that right?
You can do it.
Eclipse with a personalized license plate that said Lola on it. That car and her have never been seen again. Like, not only do we have a complete missing person here, the whole freaking car's gone with a like really personalized license plate, which I think is weird too. Yeah, no one's seen him. No one's seen or heard from her, and no one's seen that car since.
I feel like it's harder to make a car disappear than a human.
Right? That's exactly what I said.
Wow.
It literally, my next note says, sidebar, making a car disappear does not seem easy to me. So I agree.
I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. So the car's identification number has like never surfaced on like any like salvage title or a car wreck or anything. So like it's literally gone. So in 1993, Catherine she had been working as a dancer. And so she had decided that she was going to turn her life around and she was not going to be doing this anymore. And she actually moved in with her older sister, Laverne, in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And she had just finished moving all her stuff up there. She was going to go to school. She was going to get a new job. And she was going to turn her life around. She was coming back for the weekend, just for a few days, coming back down to Greenwood with some friends who was going to go visit with them. Her sister said she only took enough clothes for a couple days, so she wasn't planning on being gone super long. But she was going to go down and visit, get a few things that she had left, and come back up to Fort Wayne.
So she was going to Greenwood for a couple days?
Yes.
Okay.
From where she had just moved. Yes, her
Gotcha.
family had helped her move up there. She was there. She went back to get a few things and just like tie up some loose ends and see some friends. Her sister Laverne reported her missing on November 18th, 1993, because she never came back home after she said she would be. So not long after she went missing, she was reported missing. Investigators started looking into her disappearance, and they were informed that Catherine had spent her last night going to some different bars and clubs with 5 men. One of them was her ex-boyfriend that she was still friends with. His name was John Riker, and then there was like 4 other guys. I didn't really find if these guys were like friends of hers or just acquaintances. I mean, I'm assuming you don't just go out clubbing with some random people, but it didn't really say what her relationship with these guys were. But a couple of those men in an affidavit said that they went to an East Side apartment. Apparently it was Catherine's hairdresser. They went to that apartment after they had been out, going to some of these clubs, and they were drinking, and there was drugs there. They had been doing some drugs and drinking that night. They had already been drinking. They went back to just kind of like party at this apartment. At some point, they said that Catherine had passed out or overdosed or something. She was unconscious. And so some of these guys helped John Riker, the ex-boyfriend. They said they wrapped her in a blanket and they put her in her car. He carried her to her car and they left. He'd left to drive her back to his apartment. One of the men said they didn't check to see if she was alive before he drove off with her.
That's a weird thing to say.
Why are men so dumb? I don't know. I'm sorry, but why are you just unloading a body of a woman who's unconscious?
Yeah, we helped my buddy put this girl in her car. I'm not sure if she was alive or dead. Wait a minute here.
I agree. They just assumed she was passed out, I guess.
But to say
so dumb. Yeah, and then to say that's a weird statement.
That's a weird statement.
Yeah. So John drove off with her
in her
own car.
Okay.
Yeah. And according to John, he drove her to his house and he got her inside and they went to bed. The next morning, John got up for work and he left around 7:30. He had to drive to a job site and unlock something. I don't know if it was a door or a gate or whatever for his work crew. He unlocked it and he came back home. He said he was gone for about an hour. When he got home, Catherine in her car was gone. And so he's like, okay, well, she probably left, go back up to Fort Wayne. That was the plan. We were going to party last night and she was going to go back to Fort Wayne today. So he just assumed she was gone.
And so her car was there when he left that morning?
Yes, when he left for work.
We're getting into a time situation, and you know how hyped I get about that. He left for work,
car and Catherine were there, got home from work, car and Catherine were gone. John failed 2 polygraphs, which, you know how I feel about polygraphs.
Don't do it.
They mean nothing, but it means something when you fail them. That's why you should not take them. Yeah, they're super unreliable, so that doesn't really mean anything. I also feel like if he was drinking and doing drugs the night before, these questions he was answering on the polygraph, he probably didn't even know the answer to anyway. You can't even be fully sure of what you did the night before. If you spent the whole night drinking and doing drugs, you don't know if you're lying or not.
Well, here's how I've narrowed down my ideas on the polygraphs, because I know you always yell at me for this. Mm-hmm. A failed polygraph test makes you look guilty. Mm-hmm. And an innocent person can fail a polygraph test on accident. So do not take them because even if it's just an accident, a question that you don't know the answer to that gets your heart rate up or something like that can declare that you have failed a polygraph. So don't take it ever. But if you fail a polygraph, you look guilty, and I'm not changing my mind about that.
You look guilty if you say you're not going to take one anyway.
Less guilty than a failed polygraph. For sure, less guilty.
So John, he was like, I have nothing to hide, and he allowed his home and his business and his car, everything to be searched.
Respect.
Found absolutely nothing.
Okay.
No evidence of foul play. Nothing was discovered. That was it. They had nothing. The last people she was seen with said that they went home. He went home with her, or she went home with him. He said she left. They found no reason to believe that he hurt her, and so she was just declared as a missing person. So for nearly 7 years, that's all that they had. She was gone.
So wait a minute here.
They just wait a minute. We're gonna have to do a T-shirt or something.
They just determined that she left on her own volition at that time.
I'm assuming, she was just labeled as a missing person. There was nothing.
But they actually labeled her as a missing person, or were they just she was left?
Missing. Yeah, she was declared missing.
Okay.
Her family.
Wow.
Her car and her were gone. So but she can be declared missing, and they still are we don't know if she's missing on
her terms.
Her. So in 2000, there was a second search warrant issued for his home. Again, he allowed it. Nothing was found. He's never been charged in her murder or her disappearance. He claims that she just left to go to Fort Wayne like they had planned, and that was the last time he saw her. You know what's stressful? Buying and selling a house. Just over a year ago, we were in the middle of the process, and it was overwhelming. I am so thankful that we had someone like Amber to guide us through the process. She knew what to do and when to do it. You were so concerned about pricing and loans, and I was just concerned with the colors and the layout. Oh, you remember that?
Yes. Amber kept everything in mind, and we are in our dream house because of her. If you are looking to buy or sell in or around the Howard County area, you have to give Amber a call, or you can just give her a text, 765-865-1118.
You can follow her on Facebook at Amber White, Realtor/Broker with Carrie Gruhl & Associates. She posts the latest listings, giveaways, and even helpful home tips.
We are so grateful for Amber and all her help.
I don't know how I feel about this. Our friend John here, he seems, he's an ex-boyfriend. They remained friends. Didn't really have a motive for anything. Like I said, there's no motive here. And my thing with that is they were drinking a lot, they said. They were going hard that night. They said pot, cocaine, prescription drugs, plus all the alcohol. Like we talked about at the beginning, like, hiding a car is difficult. Hiding a car that can't be found for however many years it's been is very difficult. Hiding a car and a body that haven't been found for 20 plus years is difficult. Like, how would you be so drunk and so high that you were with it enough? Even if he tried to hide it, like, he didn't do it good. Like, we would have found it by now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I have a couple thoughts on that. There's 5 guys that we're talking about here. Most likely one of them is a DD, so they don't all have to be messed up.
Okay.
Like.
Oh, you think the guys are involved?
I mean, if the guys were involved, I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, I mean, there's, like, you could
if
have the guys.
one of them was thinking straight and was like, okay, I have people that can carry.
Yeah, because we don't know where the story goes, where the lies start, because it could have started with those guys saying that he left with her.
Yeah.
They
my other thing, too, that I haven't asked yet, he's drunk and on cocaine, and he was like, well, we need to get her home, and I'm drunk and high, so I'm not using my car. We'll use her car to take her home.
I don't know.
And he was apparently intoxicated and high when he drove her. Like, that's not good either. I don't know.
I mean, people drive drunk and high.
I mean, I understand, but, like, it doesn't look good for him.
You don't really know where the lies begin from that night.
The failed polygraph, also red flag. But I would say...
But no evidence thing?
Yeah. Being able to be like search my house.
Well, like I said, like, drunk people are not neat and tidy people. They don't clean up well after themselves. Right. They definitely don't clean up a crime scene well enough for trained investigators to be like, yeah, there's nothing here.
I would say it means the most to me that he was like, here's my house, search, do whatever you got to do.
I agree. Twice. He did it when it happened, and then again in 2000.
Yeah. So that says more about him being innocent than the other things say about him being guilty, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I don't really like the boyfriend theory. I just don't think he could have done it. I don't think that he
is he an A+ human? Maybe not, but is he a killer? I don't see killer in any of this.
I just don't see a motive there, and I don't see it really being able to pull that off. I think hiding a car and body for this many years,
the time window matters to me.
And the time window, if he did leave the party like the men said with her, and it was just him and her, he left at 7:30, and I mean the people that his workers confirmed he did come unlock for them that morning. So we're not looking at a huge time frame here.
Yeah.
So I have another bombshell.
Okay.
This is a big one.
Uh-oh.
So Catherine was in the middle of a lawsuit.
Like when she was at the time of her disappearance?
When she went missing, she was in the middle of a lawsuit. Her and 2 of her friends from the club, she worked at Brad's Gold Club, and Brad's Brass Flamingo in Indianapolis. These are some large clubs. They're still there today. They're still owned by the same man today. They're big. I mean
that's 30 years ago.
I looked at the websites for both of these, and the Brass Flamingo says they have over 100 dancers there.
Wow.
It's a huge sports bar. Lots of betting and gambling, stuff like that. They have like the races and everything going on. And so that's where she worked. Catherine did, and 2 of her coworkers, 2 of her fellow dancers, had a lawsuit filed against the owner of the clubs. His name was Bradley D. Hurst. So I guess this dude had apparently been paying for breast implants for his dancers, over 40 of them, with the understanding that if you took the implants, you had to dance at his clubs for the next 2 years, and you were not allowed to work anywhere else. That was like the trade-off. It was a class action lawsuit for fraud and negligence, and it claimed that he had coerced them into having this surgery. And it also named his friend, which was a plastic surgeon that did all of these surgeries, Dr. Charles E. Hughes III. It said that it named him, but it said that these two guys failed to warn them about all the complications and side effects that come from that surgery. I mean, it's a big surgery. And so it also claimed that Brad had employees of the bar, like, making adjustments to the implants. And so there's this, like, procedure that you can have after you have a breast implant. After you have breast implants done, it's called popping the scar tissue. And you have to, like, take the implant when it's, like, in your breast and, like, maneuver it to, like, pop all the scar tissue. This is, like, a medical procedure. Like, a doctor has to do it. And Brad over here was just paying some of his employees to do it for him, these girls. Like, yeah, anybody. Like, no, not okay. And so he was, like I said, just having some rando at the bar, like, do this procedure on them. So Catherine was actually due to give her deposition the day she disappeared.
Stop.
Not even kidding. So, like, to me, that, like, so you have this drunk ex-boyfriend.
So is that why she went back to Greenwood?
It could have been. It was part of it, they said. I mean, she was tying up loose ends, so I'm assuming she was in Greenwood because she was giving the deposition in person, and she never showed up.
Man.
So, like, call me crazy, but you have a drunk ex-boyfriend who she was still friends with absolutely no evidence that he did anything to her.
Or motive. He doesn't have a motive either.
With no motive. Or you have a rich, powerful, pissed off strip club owner who's being sued by some of his employees. Like, I'm no detective, but if I had to pick one of them to be responsible for the disappearance of somebody, I think I know who I would pick. And, like, listen, let me tell you, like, these clubs were not small establishments. Okay?
So let me ask you this.
This guy was powerful. He still is.
Do any of our 5 friends here have any connection to the strip clubs?
I have no idea.
Because, like, part of me, too, is, like, how could he know that she was with the ex-boyfriend? I'm sure, like, her plan wasn't advertised to go over there.
I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just simply speculating that possibly
Motive's there. No doubt about it.
Motive's there.
100%.
I mean, all of this could have happened the night that it happened. She might have been partying with 5 friends. Her boyfriend might have threw her over his shoulder and took her home. She might have woken up while he was gone and drove to where she had to be.
To do the deposition.
Give a deposition.
Yeah.
And she was in a bright red car with her name on the license plate. I'm just saying it would be very convenient for her to go missing for somebody.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. Does not look good one bit.
Also, the lawsuit was dropped as soon as she went missing because she was like, it was her. She was like spearheading the thing.
And then the other girls were like, yeah, no thanks. I'm not.
Yeah, they're like, well, without her and her deposition and everything, it was pointless. So we have a plastic surgeon and a rich strip club owner that
cites coincidence.
Have this problem gone.
Wow.
Because there's no more lawsuit now.
Don't love that.
I hate that. I mean, to me, that's, like I said, I'm not an investigator, but with common sense,
I hate any time there's a case and somebody's like, no, that was just a coincidence.
There's no coincidences.
Man.
So I couldn't tell if this Brad Hurst still owns it. However, when you go to Facebook, the email for the Brass Flamingo is bdh@icloud.com. So sounds like it's probably still him.
Who knows? What?
I'm not saying he did anything. I'm just saying that's the story.
And
it seems like
I don't like that
part
at all.
of the story.
Yeah.
So at one point after all of this, law enforcement received a tip that her remains were buried at an outlaw biker gang member's property. Apparently there's this like biker gang and they got a tip and they're like, yeah, I mean, it was a good enough tip apparently that they went out there and they dug it up. Didn't find anything. Law enforcement, obviously they have said they highly suspect foul play. They have never named a suspect. So John Riker, the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend,
not named a suspect.
Brad Hurst,
not a suspect.
The plastic surgeon. None of these people are considered suspects.
Interesting.
Or even persons of interest.
Wow.
This is just the story.
Yeah.
And they have never found a suspect. The law enforcement, they believe her and her car are in a body of water somewhere. I don't know why. That's just what they've said. They've searched a lot of bodies of water around that area. They've never found anything, but that's what a lot of them have said. Two of Lola's sisters have said they believe that she was dead in that apartment and that the men at that party, they hid her car and her body.
Wow.
They think she's hidden somewhere on private property. I read this in an interview. They said they believe she's hidden on some private property that police haven't been able to search yet. A private investigator told the family that he believes Lola may be somewhere east of the Edinburgh exit off of Interstate 65 near Hope or Lake Schaefer. That's what the private investigator has said. I don't know why he said that. I don't know what information they have. But that's the case. That's the case of Lola, Catherine Lola Fry.
Man.
Greenwood, Indiana.
Goodness. So, like, did the sisters say, like, why they believe that? Or was it, do they have more insight than...
I literally just said there's no reason. Like, that's why were you not here?
I was looking up where Lake Schaefer is.
Yeah, Hope, Indiana, Schaefer Lake. No. To answer your question, no. That the sisters believe that, and a private investigator that the family hired believed that, but it did not say why they believe that.
Interesting.
I do have some other information that's kind of exciting. You ready?
Let's hear it.
So this is only going to be part 1 of the Catherine Lola Fry episode.
Part 2 coming?
I'm going to have a part 2.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I'll have to put that on a t-shirt. You say that all the time.
Why do you make fun of me every time I say it?
Because it's annoying, actually.
Jeez.
It annoys me.
I'm going to say it anyways.
It's fine. You're my husband, so I think it's like...
I'm allowed like 4 annoyances, and you have to deal with them.
Like, it's way more than 4, but I just think it's part of it. Anyway, part 2 is going to feature Lola's sisters.
Whoa.
I have been in contact with them, and they want to do an interview.
Whoa.
And they are
so we're going to find out what they know.
Exactly. They're going to tell us why they think that Catherine's body is somewhere near Hope, Indiana, or Schaefer Lake. I have no idea why they think that.
Whoa.
They hired the private investigator, it said.
So they
said the family hired
probably
him,
know some things.
I'm excited to hear what they know. And I'm excited to see if there's anything we can do to help them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited for a part 2, and I'm excited that we're like...
road trip to Schaefer Lake. Like, what's going on down at Schaefer Lake? And I want to know why they think that. And I can't wait to talk to them, and I have so many questions about the boyfriend, the owner of the strip clubs, the men that she was with that night.
I was going to say, yeah, because I noticed that you gave no names of the other 4.
I don't have the names.
Interesting.
I'm hoping they do. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, if you guys have any questions that you think we should ask, make sure you comment somewhere, either on our Instagram or our Facebook page.
Yes. So that's what I said. We're going to have an interview with them. And I think I'm also going to be interviewing the detective that's working on the case. So if you guys have any questions, let us know, and we can make sure we ask them.
Yeah.
Like I said, so the Lola sisters, the family hired that private investigator. He said he believes, near Hope, Indiana, or Schaefer Lake. I have no idea why they think that. The sisters, I don't know if it's the sisters have something or the private investigator told the sisters something, but for some reason the family and this investigator believe that the answer is in Hope, Indiana, or in Schaefer Lake, which is interesting because the police have said they think it involves water, and then this investigator is saying Schaefer Lake. So I don't know. I don't know what the theory is there, but what's yours? Do you have any?
Yeah, so I keep thinking about our guy John, to be honest, and because
really?
As soon as I got done saying the whole thing about the search warrant, and that makes me happy that he did not find anything at his house, I was like, this is good. This is good news for John. I thought, his story and the timeline, which I love timelines, and a thought that I had was like, if everyone is telling the truth, I think it excludes these 5 guys.
Okay.
But then I thought, I wonder if there was a way we could test to see if somebody was telling the truth. And they did, and he did not pass.
Yeah, but
But
that's bull.
Here's what I'm saying. If they did something somewhere else besides his house, If I was him, I'd be like, search my house.
Oh, in the apartment?
Search my apartment.
That's true.
Because I know that me and these hooligans did something somewhere besides my house.
To be honest with you, my theory is that everybody sucks. Those 5 guys, if she was truly passed out or OD'd, why didn't you check?
I hate the comment of, I don't remember if she was alive.
No, he said, I didn't check to see if she was alive. Like, okay, well, maybe you should have.
Yeah.
And then we have John, who, he's probably the least likely out of mine, but also... You just were like, yeah, throw her in the back seat. And I'll take her home.
If John is telling the truth of the account,
and then you have this guy
but he took a test that said he was not telling the truth about the account.
But we don't put any effort into that.
I'm just saying, if I
call that, we don't put any stock in that.
I'm just saying, like, the whole, like, I was like, in my head, I clear him for letting them search his apartment. But I'm also like, if they did something that wasn't at his apartment, it makes him look like he smells like a rose to say, check my apartment. By all means, check my apartment. Look for evidence, because we did this down the street at Roxco's house. I'm just saying.
One more thing. If it was the men and the boyfriend together, drunk and high, they did an excellent job of covering it up.
But see, you only have to cover it up for like a week at that time. You just got to park her car somewhere where people aren't going to look. Jim Bob's garage that he's gone for a month down in Texas. Parking his garage. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to find a place where it can't be found for a week, because then you have all kinds of time to dispose of it once they stop looking at you.
I've been saying they couldn't do this drunk the whole time, but you're right. They could have just hit it. Like get rid
of
it.
Whoa, crap. We killed this girl.
Yeah, and she didn't get reported missing until November 18th, so they could have had time to do it before she was even known to be missing. You're right. They could have sobered up. Dang it. I think they all suck. The 5 guys suck. The boyfriend sucks, and the strip club owner that was having the friggin' bartender do medical procedures.
The boob jobs.
Like, come on. Also, you're already having women dance for you. Why do you have to give them a boob job? Like, just don't be a pig. You have 2 strip clubs. Like, get over it. I shouldn't probably talk. He's still there. That's okay.
Yeah, no, there's just so many things that I don't like that at first when I said I was excusing him with the search warrants, I thought poked holes in that excuse about them searching his apartment.
So we don't like any of the people involved in this story.
None.
Who do you think did it?
I'm still looking at the 5 guys, including the boyfriend.
Group effort.
Group effort. We've seen it before.
Okay. What about a really rich, powerful guy that probably has a bunch of... He probably didn't do it himself, but I could see like them paying somebody. Wouldn't be the first time somebody got paid to do something.
If I believe that the boyfriend's story is correct, then my theory goes there. But I do not believe him.
You don't believe the boyfriend?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, you do not believe the boyfriend?
No.
Okay. Well, tell us what you guys think. Comment on our socials. I'll be posting pictures of Catherine and her car, and you guys can see how pretty she was. She seriously had just like a great smile. And you guys can comment. Tell us what you think happened to Catherine, and just let us know. I'm interested if you're down in Hope, Indiana, or Schaefer Lake. Like, what's going on down there?
Yeah.
Someone knows something.
This podcast is a So.Will.I.Studos production. So will I.